If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us. I fall in love with wrestling. Man, because I started training when I got out the joint. And I think once Norm is smiling, I think it's what I
2020 damn near, like the ending of 2020, 2021, when COVID was around and they was running the Thunderdome. That's when the Hurt Business got really put. So, chat, what you guys think?
Yeah, true.
Salute to Uncle Kwame in the building. But what you got to say about the fact that it might have been a little dragged out? It might have been time for it to go.
It might have been, but Hurt Business was so short. I mean, as soon as Bobby won the belt, he kicked him out shortly after winning the belt.
That's a fact. They could have stuck around longer. And now, what do you feel about the 2.0, the Hurt Business 2.0? Because wasn't they revamping that group?
Hurt Syndicate?
No. Before we got to the Hurt Syndicate, they was flirting with the idea of the Street Profits being part of the Hurt Business.
You mean the Pride? They call it
the Pride, and then Mellow, and then they was even saying that
worked
Mellow.
out fine. That would work like a charm, but they didn't run with it.
I think that
it's just they get behind certain stables, but don't get behind the real ones. I see that.
I think that Pride would have been stronger than the Hurt Business.
Much stronger.
All right, so we're going to move it right along, and we're going to move it to Montez Ford. He's the most recent call-out in that interview, and I want us to react to that. Good interview, very good interview, very heartfelt interview. You can see the passion in Montez, and I've always said Montez, he reminds me of Shawn Michaels. He's the black African-American Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? The way it's set up, he need to put Dawkins through that glass and go on to be great. And he know it. He know his worth. And let's listen to what he got to say, guys.
Get the likes up, guys.
Do you want to run off the Street Profits accolades? Because I mean, really, they only got tag team titles, WWE tag team titles.
Yeah. Well, they're the fastest team to get the Triple Crown. They held the NXT, Raw, and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They only held for one each. They've been on the main roster since for 4 years now. But other than that, they haven't really done it besides tag team. They never been undisputed. You notice they never been undisputed tag. I felt that funny too. Now think about it. Why Street Profits never won the undisputed tag team belts? That would have helped them out too.
Good point.
On TV was in that rather crazy ladder match on SmackDown.
Yes.
How are you feeling after all that?
I feel like I'm the greatest athlete in the professional wrestling circuit. I feel like I'm the greatest entertainer in the professional wrestling circuit. I feel like I'm the greatest of all time. I feel like my confidence is at an all-time high. I feel like I'm the only one consecutively that's been dealing with the bloodline in every variation of the bloodline for the last 4 years. I've been the one doing it. I've been the one that's been trying to fight off this disease. Me, Dawkins, and occasionally Kevin Owens. But you see what happened to Kevin Owens recently. He's a little frustrated. And I feel like I'm on the verge of becoming the same way. Like, how many times I got to take down another variant of the bloodline? And it seems like every time we get close to the tag team championships, the bloodline shows up. So yes, I feel fine. My body was a little bruised. It was a little woozy or whatever you want to call it after the ladder match. But just looking back on it, going like, man, not only did I put on a show, I almost won the tag team championships. And not only was the bloodline in the way, but now DIY was in the way. In the last few weeks, we were seen pairing up with them, helping them. Like, hey, let's join forces. I know we want to both be tag team champions, but what's up, man? I know we both want to be tag team champions, but, you seem to be in the way of what we're trying to accomplish. And so now, if you see that in that match, that's exactly what happened. Held them out for weeks. They finally go for the titles, and then they tend to remember what this is all about. So feel well, but now it just seems like the kindness is starting to get taken for weakness in a lot of ways, man. You know what I'm saying? So Adam, I think there needs to be another shift, you know? Has to be.
Listen, what if you can start your own lending business, helping other business?
Now, right there, Montez calls it out. Like, it should be another shift. And he's absolutely 100% correct. Like, I'm about tired of this bloodline story. This bloodline story is in my book, it is overdone. It is overdone. You got to say about that, TBK?
More like the waterline. I'm tired of seeing all the Anoa'i family getting all the shine. It's always the Anoa'i family. Let's just call it what it is. And,
this year, Hell in a Cell tops it off. I mean, not Hell in a Cell. This year, War Games tops it off for me.
No later WrestleMania 41. Any story of that, just write that off. New Year, start off. But yeah, definitely War Games is the last time they should all be together, definitely. If you got any loose ends, just finish up at WrestleMania 41 next year. But I'm tired of the bloodline because it's getting watered down. I mean, every stable we got tired of some point. Look at the Four Horsemen. Look at NWO. Look at Evolution. Look at the Bullet Club. You get tired of it after a while. Bullet Club's still going on, but it's nothing like it was. See how Bullet Club's still going on in New Japan? No one cares about it because it's not the same like it was when AJ and Finn and all them other guys was around. That's why I'm feeling Bloodline's going, the Bullet Club route. You're here, but we don't care about you no more. You've been around too long. So end that story while you can.
Facts.
That kind of brings me on to my next question. The Street Profits have been on a journey over the last 18 months to 2 years. Where are you at now, and what is that next shift for you guys?
Next shift is figuring out what's wrong, man. Like how many, like in life, you know, like I was speaking to the last John interview. It's been almost 4 years since we had like any type of tag team championship, right? And in the age and the era we live in now, if you don't have something to show your worth, people don't pay attention to you. And the sad part is, it's not like the Street Profits have we haven't shown our worth. We have plenty of times. Evolve, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown tag team championships. We're actually the first tag team to win the Triple Crown. No, not the first. We're the fastest tag team to win the Triple Crown ever. So it's like all these historic accolades and feats, but still not in the conversation. And that bothers us. Well, it bothers me specifically. I can't talk for anyone else, but you do something for a long time and there's no accolade, there's no conversations, there's no, oh yeah, they're great. That, to me, that bothers me. I like being talked about. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I like being talked about. And the fact that we're not being talked about after everything we've done, man, makes you feel like you don't belong. It's like you're worthless. And I know I ain't worthless. But you see all these new faces come in, and it's granted, they're getting opportunities. Great. Let them in. All these new opportunities, new faces coming in. But it seems like we're getting overshadowed. Nobody's talking about us anymore. And maybe it's because of the failures we keep presenting to them, getting close to the tag team.
Absolutely. And it's so if once you become hot and the fans start rooting for you, and we've been rooting for you, and the company ignore us rooting for you, sooner or later, we gonna stop rooting for you, and we gonna go to the thing that the company keep pushing down our neck. Because who wants to root for a loser? And that's not necessarily saying that talent is a losing talent. if the company do not get behind you, because this is scripted TV, guys. Remember, these guys not in the square circle really fighting each other. Because if they were, we know how that'll end 9 times out of 10. Unless you go get Brock Lesnar, we know how that's gonna end. You know what I mean? So we got to really, really, really do better. WWE, we got to do better.
Championships fail. Get right there again. There's Bloodline. There's DIY. There's another hub. There's, now you're in a 4-man group. That stops. Now you're in a 3-person group. But you get closer to taking championships again, and no, it doesn't happen. So now all these thoughts are going through my head where do the adjustments need to come? Who do I need to add? Who do I need to subtract? Do I need to change my method and approach to all this stuff? All these things are showing up right now. So that's how I feel. I know it's a lot, but it's a long answer, but that's how I feel right now.
And it feels like a therapy session at the minute.
It kind of is.
Someone that has talked about you is your other half, Bianca. She was asked recently about you going on a singles run. And she said, and I kind of feel like everyone feels like this, you are ready for it and everybody wants it. But she said that you kind of feel guilty because of how close you and Dawkins are. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think what she was saying, we're speaking on is, when I first got signed to NXT or developmental around 2015, and my first match was around 2016. Mm-hmm. And literally right after that, they put me and Docs together. Like the end of 2016, and we debuted in 2017 on NXT TV. So this has been the only thing I have done since I've been with the company, the Street Profits. I haven't done anything else. I haven't done single stuff, haven't done solo stuff. And I think what she means is kind of similar to Survivor's guilt. Been with this person for so long, we built so much. So for me to take off and just do things on my own, kind of feels like I'm leaving him behind. But I realized recently, that's not my fault. And that's not a knock to him. That's not a knock to anybody. But I know how talented I am. I know how much I've brought to the table for the Street Profits. And I know how much I've input to the Street Profits to make it what it is today. If I decide to go my way, and it's not with the Street Profits, and whatever happens after that, either does successful or it fails, that's not on me. Because me is on me. And I think that's why she said that, because like I said, we have such a close-knit relationship and been together for so long. And she knows how much I not only just care about him, but the Street Profits as a whole. But
now, Red Carpet Ring, how do you feel about that statement right there, man? Being a Street Profits fan, how do you feel about that? And also being a Montez fan.
I feel like Montez has a very good point. He has been a tag team long enough. And he's also seen the recent success of Jey Uso, who's also in a long tenure tag team, go on to move to another brand, which is Raw, and get a singles championship, the Intercontinental Championship. Now on top of that, become the fastest, not the fastest, but the most popular superstar on Raw with the merchandise, very popular catchphrase. So if it can work for Jey Uso, why can't it work for Montez Ford, who's clearly, no offense to Jey Uso, he's clearly more talented and more athletic than Jey. If you compare Montez Ford to Jey Uso's apples and oranges, Montez got him beat by a long shot as far as singles competitors competition. So he sees that. He sees the which really offended me, that other guys can get solo stars as well, which you can't do for Street Profits. You limit them to a tag team. So Montez got a point. Daughter, he can manage Montez, or if you don't manage him, you're gonna get your remember APA, the Alkalites, Farouk and Bradshaw, dominant tag team, tearing everything up. But guess what? JBL gets the opportunity to be in his singles career in SmackDown. What happened to Farouk at that time? He got released. And it happens kind of similar to the Profits. They won the tag team goal before. And they're a very good tag team. That's one of my favorite tag teams. I like APA. I like the Acolytes. But if JBL had stayed there in that tag team, there would have been no JBL champion. There would have been the wrestling god. So, again, if it could work for that situation, why can't it work for Montez Ford, leaving the province and doing his own thing and possibly becoming a world champion?
Right, and let's be real. They act like we got a lot of good guys. They act like we got a lot of face. And it's not even a lot of face on no levels, mid-card or main event level. We don't have a lot of face. We got tweeners that are really good bad guys that we got to make face, that are not believable faces, but we don't really have that pure, genuine face other than Cody, who show heel tendencies, and he's just, it's just something about Cody. I love him, but
he's a rose. He's a rose. And also, yeah.
It's something about him, man. He's Ric Flair mixed with, well, we talked about this yesterday.
John Cena. He's the modern day John Cena.
Right. He's Ric Flair mixed with John Cena.
Yeah, the fans getting sick of him. And I just want to say this too. What I don't like about a pattern that we're starting to see right now that's forming, people are not walking or want to walk because you're not just because you're not trying, you're not even giving them a chance. I think that's the main issue with Triple H. You didn't even give them a chance. Even if they did drop the ball, can I at least get the chance to drop the ball? If it don't work, you immediately just didn't want to run with it. And not just him, Swerve Strickland too. You didn't even give him a chance. Let Montez get the opportunity, at least flirt with it for him to go solo. I haven't seen that yet.
True. Very true.
I'm not gonna say when the opportunity comes because you can't really necessarily say when the opportunity comes because opportunities. You know how this place works, but I will say that when that day
20, 100.
He said that was.
That's how many clients I'm gonna.
He swagged out right now because that's the confidence. It's not even arrogant, He's confident in what he's saying. Swagged out.
How will you know when the time is right then for you to go solo?
I would say when everything I'm doing now isn't working. I feel like I'm on the cusp and the verge of that now. I feel like for the last, like I said, we've been together since late 2017. We've won Evolve in NXT, Raw, and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. But right after we lost to SmackDown Tag Team, yeah, man, the same thing, have the same passion, up my training, and there's still no success in my head. Like, yeah, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? And that's where I'm at now.
The number one question I want to ask you, when did you fall?
With wrestling, man, I got out the, and I think once Norman introduced me to Japanese wrestling, and I figured out that that's what I wanted to do. That's when the love, the passion started to develop.
Got it.
I'm here today with my guest host, as always, Red Carpet Ring, and we're going to talk about MVP. Swerve Strickland and Montez Ford. These stars recently spoke out about WWE. Red Carpet Ring, you want to add anything?
Going on here today, man. What else going?
Man, I'm doing. We're gonna have a good conversation. You know, we not race agitated. Need to be spoken.
The beginning, from one wrestler to the next, something that happens on in the wrestling community. As we can see that from the ancient times, from the beginning of wrestling, that some issues stay the same, some change, but some stay the same, and we are seeing that in 2024 here.
Absolutely. So, without any further ado, let's start with MVP, guys. Now, for those of you that don't know, MVP, former WWE superstar. These are his accolades, guys. He's a two-time United States champion. He's an IWGP Intercontinental Champion, the inaugural, guys. He's also a WWE one-time Tag Team Champion. He's a Wrestling Evolution Champion one time. So he got a couple of accolades. He got a lot of accolades in the professional wrestling sport. TBK, do you want to add anything about MVP's career?
Yeah, MVP. He was a very character. He had his good character, whatever. He did his thing. I will say MVP had a good rivalry with Matt Hardy over the United States Championship. And also say that MVP had the MVP Lounge. You forgot about that. He had a good talk show called MVP Lounge. And the longest reigning United States champion at one point.
That's true. And one thing I like to say about MVP, his character was different. It wasn't goofy. It was believable. It was cool. It was sports. You know what I mean? He had the AI. He was Iverson.
Yeah, with the braids he had and everything, yeah. He also talked on the mic. He also talked on the mic too.
Yes, he could. So, for those of you that might not know, he not too long ago left the WWE and went on to AEW. He also not too long ago spoke about why he made the jump. So that was part of the intro, and we're gonna get into that right now, and then we gonna chop it up. I got time in if we have enough time. All right, but we had 3 interviews, and they kind of, you're gonna notice a pattern. You're gonna notice a pattern. Book these particular stars. Let's get into MVP.
The one and only MVP. Standing beside me. Hey, what's up, MVP?
Spree Wells.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of WWE career. You've been around for 9 years.
Time out. That's also another option right there. We don't gotta necessarily have him turn on Dawkins. He can actually turn Dawkins into Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and he could be Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? He could be the Diesel to Montez Shawn Michaels. And that'd be cool. What you think about that? What you think about him being a diesel to the Montez, and he just like a bodyguard? He could get into
Their own path through WWE.
100%. Like, it's period where you have to, like, you know, gain respect or whatever. I feel like if I haven't gained the fans' respect at this point, something's wrong. I'm not doing something right. You know, something, like I said, it goes back to like, like, do I need to shift? Do I need to do some things to be in the conversation? Like, and then for the longest, I was double dutching. I was like, dang, is something wrong with me? Like, I'm not in these conversations. I'm not doing this. Like, I feel like, gosh, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm having these crazy matches. I'm having these great performances, but I'm still not in the conversation. So I'm just like, dang. And I look at everyone else who's in the conversation, not as athletic, not as sharp, that I don't have. What do I need to shift into to get what they got right now? And that's where I'm at. Like, literally sitting back, observing everything. Because for the longest, like I said, I thought something was wrong with me. Like, what's wrong with Montez? Something's wrong with Montez? Your shape? You don't talk well? You don't dress well? You don't have swag? You ain't got fashion? You ain't got passion? Like, are you a WWE superstar? Like, literally, this is the stuff that's going through my head, because you go through, like, not being unsuccessful for a long time and things aren't happening in your life. You start questioning yourself. That's me, though. Like, I always reassess myself. I don't look around and go like, oh, it's Doc's fault, it's B-Fast's fault, it's his fault. I always look at myself first. But when I start questioning myself, I start realizing, I have all these accolades. I am strong, I am fast, I am athletic. In my opinion, probably the most athletic person on the roster. My wife's in the other room making sure, you know,
I think that's also another fact that he's saying right there. Name somebody who is more athletic than him. Who should be scripted as more athletic than him? Who? Because Jey Uso, he's, like you said earlier, he's better than Jey, and I know it hurt his heart to see Jey get up there and do that splash, that Uso splash, when his move is the frog splash, and he could have pictured himself. I know he could taste it. He could taste the championship win. But what do you feel about that, bro?
I feel like he got a point. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Dawkins could, like this in his comment right here, he can't be a bodyguard. I agree with that, but I say Montez, nobody more athletic than him. I mean, Montez he did up his training. I mean, I don't get it. What more does he have to prove that he could be a solo star?
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. But then it's like, okay, you have all these things, so what is missing to get what they have? What is missing to get that Universal Championship? What is missing to get that World Heavyweight Championship? What is missing to get that Tag Team Championship, that World Tag Team Championship? What is missing? I have everything else. What is missing? And that's what I'm on right now. And that's what's been eking me for like a long time. So I know it's a therapy session, but that's where I'm at right now.
Would you say it's something missing, or that there's been something in the way? Because the entire time, it's been the Bloodline at the top. Not just the Bloodline, but the Bloodline storyline with everyone involved from the outside. That's been there the whole time. You've kind of had this frustration.
I've been telling DIY this, and even the argument last Friday was...
Now, everybody's going to say the obvious, which is not really the obvious. They're going to say the red cup. Get rid of the cup. Get rid of the cup. But if you get rid of the cup, then what he's going to replace it with? You got to replace that cup with something. You just can't go get rid of the cup, because oddly enough, guys, that little cup right there sells. Maybe they need to dress the cup up. Maybe they need to do something with it. Maybe they need to put something in the cup, like some bread, and give it out to the audience. Like, maybe they need to highlight the cup. They don't even highlight the cup. It's shit empty, and it's just like, you know what I mean? But it's not just that easy. Get rid of the cup. That's like telling Alberto Del Rio or Jericho to get rid of the scarf. MJF now, get rid of the scarf. Like, you know what I mean? Certain things, certain elements make the character. Anything you want to add to that, TBK?
That's funny you say that because one person did say get rid of the cup. And we got time to pull it up. We got Booker T. Booker T said something about this too. He spoke on this whole thing of how Montez Ford, he responded. He said that Montez Ford should wear the cup. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next.
And that's the obvious go-to. It's the easy way out. Get rid of the cup.
Very true.
About this, I said we all have a common enemy. It's the bloodline. Bloodline is like a disease. Think about it. They have so many variants of it, and a new variant shows up, and that variant is adjusted and took everything down. And it just seems like at this point, the bloodline can only take out the bloodline. If you think about it, then this new variant is now taking down the old variant that was hindering and knocking down so many people. And then now it seems like the old bloodline is recruiting people from who's already been here, or they recruiting help to take out the new bloodline after everything that they kind of established from day one. It's kind of like a disease or a sickness showing up in the body, and then, the body just not being able to adjust to it. And that's what the bloodline has been. And we need to get rid of the bloodline. I know, they got, obviously Roman and Jimmy are now looking to pair each other up, but people are tend to forget, what havoc they caused the last 4 years. So it's like, essentially, part of me is like, yeah, I've been going against the bloodline, but now that they're going against each other and they're going out recruiting people, I'm like, nah, y'all handle that because y'all created this mess. So while y'all handle y'all's mess that y'all created, I'm going to handle the stuff that I created for myself because I've been handling the bloodline for a long time. Now it just seems like, well, maybe if they take each other out, then that can open up doors for me to focus on what it needs to focus on, whether it's getting the tag team championships or adjusting to something else, because that just seems like to be in the common thread of everything. When you look at it, Kevin Owens is attacking Cody. All these weird things are happening because the bloodline has just trickled down and infested everything for everyone to adjust. And now we got us and DIY going at each other, all because of the bloodline. You got Kevin and Cody going at each other, all because of the bloodline.
Honestly, all of the teams that's involved in this, they can go dolo. DIY, we know Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa could be great individuals. So now he's kind of booking a nice little scenario right now, guys. Just think about it. Bloodline, just write off one member of every team they playing against. That'll leave Montez. If Bloodline run down on Dawkins and put Dawkins out, and now Dawkins get written off TV, he sit up for a while. Now Montez by himself. That's a one way to get him to a solo run.
Bloodline has been the common denominator in every problem that's been happening. They just need to go away. And I feel like once all of us adjust, or whether it's the new bloodline or the old bloodline or everyone forming together to take care of the bloodline, that issue will be handled. And that's why they've been the main topic, because no one has found an answer for the bloodline. Jimmy and Jay had tag team championships for a very long time. And Kevin and Sammy, obviously reached that goal at WrestleMania. But now, guess what? The tag team championships are right back to the bloodline. So I think first we need to take care of the bloodline. And from there, everything else is history. Take out the sword. Take out the head, everything else pops.
This kind of spoke about the NWO, WCW like years ago. Does it kind of have that same vibes to you?
I mean, they do. They the same vibe. They have all these new variants, and
No, that's a good question. What do you think? What's your take on that, TBK? Because 5 years now going on.
Yeah, they got to get rid of this bloodline. Like you said, every tag team can't go solo, but something's going to have to change because not only Bloodline has been doing it for years, you have invaded SmackDown. That's what it's mostly ran on. So everybody that's been on SmackDown for the past 4.5, 5 years have been affected by the Bloodline. Its prophets have been a part of that. People that have been affected. Kevin Owens, a few others.
That's right.
and they wear red and black like the Wolfpack. I think the only difference is the name, you know? I mean, it's not a knock to the Bloodline, but you gotta look at it, man. Like, such a strong force, and they created such this strong element of surprise and a strong dominant. And then they didn't realize how much power they created, because now the very same thing they created is the very same thing that they have to form up and destroy. You know, it's kind of like, it looks like the Avengers all over again. You know, like literally they got rid of Thanos, but Thanos is the exact same person they need to take care of the new threat. You know, it's the same thing. Bloodline, such a huge, huge threat. But now another variant is formed, and that same bloodline that caused the havoc now has to take out the new havoc, because this new variant is different. It's a little bit more rogue. It's not controlled. They do what they want. It's very sporadic. You know, it's like, whoa, what is this? Okay, guys, can you help us clean up the mess we made? And the problem is the bloodline's even getting stronger, because the old bloodline is going back to recruit people that they caused turmoil to help take out the new bloodline. And those people are like, nah, that's your business. So now this new bloodline is getting even stronger, because the old bloodline needs help taking out the new variant, and the people aren't helping. That's how they feel right now. Like, even me, I want, for example, like, yeah, I dealt with that for a long time, but also I'm trying to win tag team championships. And you asking me to help take care of this variant? Or you asking Kevin, or you asking Cody to take care of the new variant? They got their own stuff they got to worry about. And weren't y'all the same people that caused the havoc before? Make it make sense.
Don't pay anything to fix your roof. New York City homeowners can get a free roof while
Make it make sense.
I guess the only good thing about it is it makes for very good TV, which brings me to my next question. WWE landscape overall is about to change in a huge way with the Netflix deal. I mean, the company's breaking records almost weekly. You've got the Netflix deal, all the good stuff that comes with that. What is it like for you guys to be part of the locker room in this huge new era for WWE?
I think it's fantastic. Netflix is such a huge platform. Over 200 million weekly, or actually over 200 million monthly subscribers. Netflix has been out so long. It's got so many accesses to so many countries, so many continents. Like, so many people can now see WWE. Like, we can literally expand more on the first W in our name, which is world. And by being on Netflix, it does extend us to that global stage. More people get to see wrestling, more people can see Raw, more people get to see our content, more people can see what the fuss is about on Netflix. And unlike, you know, the movie theaters, unlike a subscription to your favorite website, you don't have to pay that much to see WWE. You don't have to pay to see the best entertainment, the best athletes, the best storylines. You don't. Netflix is a huge platform, and all the streaming device content will be there. Such a massive deal, because to think about like how many people have access to Netflix is crazy. Like, everybody and their mama has access to Netflix. So it's a very exciting time for us, to show the world what we're about, the hype is about, and show our different talents to so many different, not just different eyes, but new eyes. And that's such a huge opportunity for everyone across the board. And also Netflix has so many different shows and contents, you know, for the WWE talent. So for us to have WWE on there, which is different, which is fresh, which is new. Hopefully it gives more interest to the other shows and stuff on there to see the talent display themselves. And, eventually WWE takes over the entire Netflix. You turn on Netflix, you don't just see WWE superstars on Raw. You see them on whether it's the Love is Blind or whatever it is, whatever other shows that they have going on, you see WWE talent in there. So I think it's great, and I think it's the start of a WWE takeover.
All the time that you've been with WWE, what's been the biggest difference for you as a talent from like when you first joined to now?
I would say the biggest difference from me first joining to now is the comfortability. I feel like in the beginning, I kept trying to find myself. I didn't come from like the indie background, like you said. So like I watched my whole life. So like I didn't necessarily know like my validation. So I would go online and just look and see like what was good. And obviously, you go online, it's probably not the best thing to do. So like I would say now is just being comfortable in what I do and that I'm confident enough that it's going to carry through and that I'm telling the story that I'm trying to protrude out to the WWE universe. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say that. Like just feeling so much more comfortable in everything and just everyone knowing like what my intent is and being able to not just tell a story, but tell how I'm feeling using my body and expressions and emotion without saying a word sometimes. Because you can't hear what everyone's saying in the ring, live TV, all the fans are screaming, but just adjusting and making myself comfortable and showing the world like and telling the story through like my body and like my presence, my aura, if you want to call it,
So I kind of like asking this next question because I get very varied answers, but are there any misconceptions or rumors about you've heard over the years that you just want to set straight?
It's a great question. I think one is, I did see this one recently, is that, and I think it was back to what you was asking earlier. You were saying, Montez Ford doesn't really want to go solo because he's afraid of leaving his partner. Now, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of, leaving my partner or anything like that. This is what I have been put to do since I've been here. I've been trying to make the best of this situation, just like anyone in life. Like what I'm doing in the WWE is no different from what anyone does in life. Like whatever cards you're dealt, you make the best of it. But once you get comfortable, you get success in a certain area, you're confident and you start trying and you want to protrude out and go into other areas that you could possibly be successful in. But I think one thing I like to debunk is me being nervous or scared to leave Dawkins. It's not the case. I would change that to, if that time comes for us to be away from each other, I am ready. Can't speak on anyone else. I am ready. I've been ready, still ready. I was going to be ready, period. So I'll leave it as that.
Good answer. And the very last question, what is your favorite British food?
Oh. I would definitely say, what's the name of that pie? It's a pie. You probably know exactly what pie I'm talking about. Babe, I'm gonna ask my wife. It's called, because we always get it every time we go to the UK shows. They bring it to the actual catering, and we kill it. It's a certain type of pie. Let me grab her. Banapi. It's like banana and coffee.
Oh, banoffee. Yeah, banoffee.
Yes. Banoffee. That's hands down.
Banoffee, that's his favorite dish.
Wow.
TBK, man, what do you got to say about that powerful and passionate insight there.
I think Montez is gonna go very far, bro. People are sleeping on him. And I like the comment the other guy put. He said about who they like at WWE, and we see that. If you don't have a system behind you, no matter how talented you are, how over it will not rock with you. You gotta play that game by their rules. That's how WWE is.
That's a fact. So let's move the show right along, and let's get to a star that also made the transition. One of the first, well, I don't want to say first, but one of the well-known people that made the transition from NXT to AEW. And let's hear his gripe. Before we get to that, do you give him a briefing on the characters? Because you know Swerve in NXT days, and you know his days with Hit Row. So you want to give him a briefing on that, and how well did he do?
He loved Dollar, B-Fab, and Ashanti Adonis, who's back in NXT now. He won the North American Championship. Lost it to Cranes. Now they did. He went breast off his own. The rest of the Hit Row came back. He went to AEW. Had the tag team belts with Keith Lee. Then this year, he's won the AEW World Title. And he's been doing his thing ever since. Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Yep.
Always go by the years based on trickets. Him like a couple days ago, just checking on him, see how he was. He got back to me. He's like, hey man, you still making music, doing anything? I'm like, yeah. 3-minute conversation.
Yeah.
So talk to him. To make me one of your guys.
Yeah.
I always like challenged him on that. And he always was like, you know what? All right, cool. And he gave me a little bit more. And like that, and then I got on the road and stuff, doing stuff. And then he was like, then I did the tape. And I was afterwards, what's your head in your eyes? He's like, no, you're there, man. You're like, you're one of my guys.
And he lied to you, bro. TBK, what you got on that?
Yeah, he definitely lied to him. He wasn't gonna be one of them guys.
He tried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely wasn't. He didn't see Swerve as one of his people.
Unfortunately, he missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. And Swerve knows that too. I don't know why he's saying that.
Trust me, it's just like I was like, okay, cool. 3 months later, I think I got hurt for like 4 weeks or something like that. I was like, okay, I'm coming back to do some new stuff. That's where the grills came in, the color, hair. And I got the inspiration from watching Demolition Man and watching Wesley Snipes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Simon Phoenix character. So I literally, because he was just like a heel.
I think I brought one of my shirts. I got to show you one of my shirts.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's a Taco Bell shirt from that.
Awesome. I love that movie to death.
That movie's so good.
So it's incredible. But he was just like a villain that was so charismatic, and you couldn't, doing horrible as next, even though he's the antagonist. I don't want him to succeed, but I can't wait to see what he does next.
Absolutely.
So I took that and like put like hip hop spin on it.
That's
and then
cool.
I just came back and they were like, okay. And then like, then after that, it was like the Hit Row thing started just going and all that stuff. But honestly, it was like Shawn Michaels who was just like, hey, like, let's watch tape. So I watched tape with him for like an hour, watching like me versus Riddle from Defy Wrestling and on the Indies. Me and Darby, I was showing him stuff like that. He's just like watching, like, and like, like stop every once in a while. He was like, okay, let's get you rolling. And then so Sean's influence went to Triple H, was like, hey, I understand you like focus on the show, but
this
Swerve
guy right here.
Yeah, because
see, and like we talk about off air, Triple H, he got a fixed mindset, and he be focused. He focused in on what worked for him in the past and his characters that he trusts, and he don't know how to improvise. And clearly, Swerve just told us it was Shawn Michaels that offered the push, but that lets you know Shawn Michaels only can give you the good word. He can't really execute. Everything now is flowing through Triple H, the same way we used to villainize Vince for having the final say. Now it go to Triple H, because if they're not Triple H guy, they're not getting pushed. TBK, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, that's very crucial, man. Triple H, you definitely have there's only certain people you push. We see it now, honestly. I mean, I can't keep pushing the same people all the time either. What's the person having all that talent if you push the same people?
Absolutely, yo. And it just goes, like Triple H, because he was different from Vince, we gave him crazy kudos. But now that we're adjusting and our senses is adjusting to what Triple H is putting out, we starting to see the flaws, and we're starting to see that maybe this is why Vince put a leash on Triple H those years, because Triple H got unfair booking. Now, one thing you can say about Vince is his booking wasn't this unfair. He had his guys that was selling, guys that the fans like. You know, Vince, when we got behind Daniel Bryan, Vince had no choice but to make the right decision. When we got behind Kofi Kingston, Vince had no choice but to make the right decision. Becky Lynch, he had no choice but to make the right decision. Triple H is stubborn. What you got? You got anything you want to add before we finish the rest of this?
Yeah, not only he's stubborn, Triple H also knows too that he stay on social media a little too much, and since he goes on social media, I think that kind of affects his booking. He goes off what the media say on social media. He can say he don't, but I think he does, and you can see it now. He does a lot of the same stuff, rinse and repeat. So it's simple. You know, he didn't like how Vince did things, but at the same time, you just want to do what you want to do. But is it that much better than Vince now? Now we look at it. Is it that much better? That's the question we have. So, because some of his booking decisions I have not agreed with, some of his PLEs that I have not agreed with. I am not a fan of how the Survivor Series War Games team has set up for the men's division. I'm not a fan of it. It's just like last year. I spoke about this earlier on my channel. So I disagree with some of the booking decisions. It's just Triple H is the fresh new the head in charge of booking. We were so used to Vince for what, 50, 30, 40 years, whatever you want to call it. He was something fresh and new. Are we going to go through the same drought with Triple H after a few years? We'll get tired of him too? That's the question we'll ask. Now, what I will say, Triple H is what, 55? I want to say 54, 55. He's not going to be, it's fair to say, he's not going to be head of creative forever. Fair to say. Triple H right now is, yes, 55. I can see him doing this for another 10 to 12 years because he will be 70 in another 15 years. I don't think he's going to be the head of creative in his 70s. I don't see that happening. And if he is, he'll be on the back end. So we have to be prepared ourselves to be dealing with this for another 10 to 15 years. It won't be another 40 like Vince. Vince ran it for what? The 80s, 70s, 80s, mid 80s, all the way to a couple years ago. We're not going to get that with Triple H. So whatever booking decisions that he makes now, the way how he runs it, it will not be that long. Matter of time, we're going to get somebody else. This may be far-fetched. We may get a Cody Rhodes somebody in the next 10 years. He may take Triple H spot later on because he is the face of the company, and he already say he plans to retire by 45 as a full-time wrestler. So let's just keep it real.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And Triple H booking is not that magnificent when you really look past the fact that, like you said, Vince McMahon was from our childhood till now. So we looking for something Vince McMahon can't give us. So Triple H, he knew what it was, and he gave it to us. But now that we see the pattern in his booking, everything is formulaic, guys. Let's be real. Let's be straight up honest, guys. Everything that he does for SmackDown, he does duplicate for Monday Night Raw. Every single storyline, guys. Think about it. Think about it now. The Bloodline storyline was the exact same storyline, give it just different characters and give or take different nuances to the Judgment Day storyline. He packed the Judgment Day with all of the titles. He packed the Bloodline with all of the titles. So he has obvious bookings. Even now, right? You see how you have Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, and Raquel Rodriguez. They can't, like, he's booking so obvious. And then there's the elephant in the room, how if you pay attention to the calendar and a whole stars, I gotta tell you who's gonna get the title and where and when. Triple H, I mean, it's been good television, but it's been obvious television, guys. It's been very obvious television. Think about it. Our best feud was a duplicate of the Bloodline story, because the Bloodline was fighting over that hulu, and then you had
Hula Fala.
The Hula Fala, and then you had the Bloodline fighting over. I mean, you had CM Punk and Drew Mack fighting over the bracelet. So Triple H is just always going to what worked. He has his little NXT mat and tricks. He have his NXT storylines that work for him down there, and then he bring it to the main roster, and he have his trustworthy characters, and he stick with what got him to the dance. But he cannot improvise. He cannot improvise in his booking. We see that in the fact of LA Knight and Jey Uso. Those two guys got the title way too late in their career, because LA Knight should be losing the title right now. LA Knight should be losing the title right now, not sitting there with the title doing nothing. What's your take on the LA Knight situation?
He shouldn't be the United States champion right now. And I'm getting tired of him too. I've been getting tired of LA Knight. He's doing the same thing now he did when he first got back main scene. I mean, he's not the best in-ring performer, and his promos are lacking. And he's not as over as he was over a year ago. I'm just saying. And I know I'm gonna catch flack for this, but I really don't care. I think the reason everyone likes Triple H booking so much and everyone loves the way he's over head of creative, it's not just because Vince is gone. We got tired of Vince. I think everyone is so high on Triple H because he at one point he almost lost his life. He was under surgery. He had cardiac arrest. He had the heart procedure. I think everybody felt bad for Triple H, man. They felt bad that he was almost passed away. They felt bad for him, and I think because that heart procedure he was on a cardiac event, his genetic heart issue. I think everyone felt so bad for him, and that he pulled it through, which I'm glad he did. I think that's why he gets so much praise, because at one point this man almost was close to not making it, similar to Ric Flair. And I think that's why people give him that, because it's out of I'm not trying to hate on Triple H. He's a victim. He almost, because of working under Vince, he almost passed away, and I think everyone feel bad for him. Like Paul Heyman, look, go back to the Hall of Fame ceremony early this year. I'm a Paul effect guy, and everyone's clapping, and the camera was all on Triple H because he almost passed away. And I think that's what it is. People feel sorry for Triple H.
That's a fact. But, and then the other half still remember Triple H and that infamous promo he shot on Booker T, where he said, "You guys are just good enough to get to the dance." And it's crazy because that was over 20-some years ago. And
in 03. You haven't booked that one black champion yet. I mean,
right.
You haven't booked nobody yet. So was it really Vince McMahon behind it, or was it you behind it?
And that's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. Now, if he didn't screw over his own kind, then I will call him a flat out, you know what I mean, R word. But him and Shawn Michaels for years been screwing over everybody. So, you know what I mean, he just has a problem with power. And if you put power in the wrong hand, everybody go down. So, you know what I mean, let's continue with the Swerve interview.
Triple is like super passionate about his product, and he was just like, that was when the Finn Balor was running as NXT champion and stuff like that. So he was just like so focused on getting this product right and everything. But sometimes like time will go by and he doesn't know. And then like this guy's like drifting and drifting and drifting. Like, oh wait, we don't want to lose you. Like, so Shawn is that guy that like, hey, this guy right here.
This is the one you want to bring back.
Yeah.
Nah, my ass, so genius. This creative mind just fade off. If you not in his plans, he has a fixed. But I like the way you left room for your return, though, Swerve. Great.
Triple H, like you said, I call him a puzzle booker. That's every piece to the puzzle. If that puzzle do not fit, that piece of the puzzle do not fit in that puzzle, he is not going to fix you in that storyline. It's lazy booking. It's lazy booking. It's lazy booking.
Facts.
I mean, we literally saw the Ula Fala over Roman and Solo on SmackDown, and we saw the necklace between CM Punk and Drew. What was the difference between those two stories? You gotta be kidding me. What was
no difference?
No difference. No difference at all between those two stories at all. And it didn't make any sense at all. I mean, come on, man. How more obvious can it be? And another thing I like with Triple H booking, we got too many stables on Raw and SmackDown. Can we get rid of some of these stables already? We got LWO. We got the Final Testament. We got American Made. We got the YS6. We got the Judgment Day. We got the Bloodline. Like, how many stables we gonna have? I mean, we don't need to. Everybody don't have to have a stable. It kind of makes stables stale. So let's stop that. Cut these things. I don't say all stables gotta go, but just some of them have to be gone. Back then, no matter what Vince McMahon y'all say about Vince, Vince didn't have all those stables run around. He limited the stables like, yo, you had one diamond stable on Raw and you had one on SmackDown, and that's it. That's all you had. When we saw back in the day, we had Evolution on Monday Night Raw, and back then on SmackDown, I think JBL had the Cabinet, or Kurt Angle had Team Angle or something. It was just one, not two, not three, and certainly not four. Just one stable. That's all you gotta do.
Facts on facts.
Let's get him right. He's like, okay. So like it was Sean that gave the extra punch, but like I always just had like firm with Triple. I didn't want them to have it there.
You want to be able to have those conversations still, right?
Yeah.
Like, and not get like a door slammed on your face, right?
Right. I think like you want people to like know what their product is and what they're bringing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
It feel like it's like Shark Tank going up to talk to these guys, like, but you're the product that you're presenting.
Yeah.
You know, you can't come in there like, like a little hesitant, like, I'm not sure, like maybe, like, can you do something for me? Like, no, here's what I have, this is what I want to do, this is what I can do for you. And this is what we can really make some magic here. Don't hesitate, don't miss out on this opportunity or else it's going out the door.
Right.
And some people are like, you know what? I believe you. You believe in this so much, I'm going to believe in you. Let's go. But they're also, you're going to have to cash that check at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring that up, you're like, all right, you came in with this energy, match it.
Yeah.
Now that would give you the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I felt like I did that with him. And ever since then, I feel like Trips was like, you know what? That's when the script came away. He'd start throwing scripts away. He's like, you got a minute, talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, you want to rap on? All right. You got 7 minutes segment. Yeah. Do your cipher and perform your song. Go, do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And because I believed in myself and what I was delivering. And at that point, I was like, I was in my zone too. And I just knew it. Everything I knew, I was like, I think this will work. And it worked. And I think, like, let me try this. And it was like, okay, good. Then it got to a point, I was just like, you know what, I'll figure it out there. Live TV, I'll figure it out.
Oh, so you went with the programming, bro. You went with the stereotype. You put yourself in a box.
I was about to say that. I find it funny. I find it funny. All you AEW people, you say you like AEW, you like Tony Khan, he's a great boss and all that. You say you got a night, and you guys, have signed over to AEW with very lucrative contracts for whatever, reportedly, how much money you signed for. Yet you still talk about the past with WWE. See this with him? That's with Ladies Monet. All y'all talk about WWE. Don't you have your own business in AEW? I see all your former WWE people do that. Now, when Jade Cargill became the WWE, she had to say in a press conference, don't ask no question about AEW. I ain't there no more. I don't see you guys doing that over here. You're still talking about WWE. Y'all all still do that. Y'all, I never hear them say, hey, I'm in AEW now. Can we stop talking about WWE? I never hear y'all stop that.
Good point. Great point.
And then sure enough, boom.
That's just that's the progression of your creativity on that, right?
Yeah.
And your skill, honing that in.
It was just like, I just knew who I was. I knew who I was, and I knew I wasn't just like portraying something. I'm just being.
Man, and that was Swerve. And I got one more Swerve piece that I found important. You dropped some gems on this one too.
Is there something you learned from Shawn Michaels in NXT that you've carried with you to be the character you are now?
I would have like hour-long tape studies with him, like close the door, boom, it's him watching Hold in DC. Wow. He wanted to see like, okay, what got you here? What made us sign you? Show me that. Because like you're doing well right now, and like I see what you're doing, but I want to know what got you here. What made you be the signing? You know? And so we went back to that. He's like,
me thinks you are on point, because that's what Turnbuckle King said. That's exactly true. And that's a strategy that people use to tug on people's heartstrings.
Yeah,
because the victim get rewarded.
Yeah, same thing. And then Roman, not just is a cancer, Roman turned heel like we wanted him to do years ago. He did that at that time too. He just lightning struck in the right direction. Yeah, he right though. It's so much because Triple H had that heart issue. For whatever reason, the genetic issue, whether he was on the juice or whatever. It ruined Bray Wyatt. That's another story. But he won the title, and he got out. He changed the whole character. So yeah, that's the whole thing. People just like for a certain thing, a certain reason.
And don't forget the elephant in the room. People like Paul Heyman's heel, and when you put Paul Heyman with anybody, it's going to push that person over.
Yeah, definitely. Paul Heyman's definitely a big part of it. Definitely a big one. But yeah, he right though. I mean, Triple H, Roman, that bloodline has ruined a lot of people. The bloodline's ruined a lot of people. I mean, they literally been running the whole WWE.
That's a fact. If it wasn't for politics, I think, I think you spot on because I do you one better. I think he would have been the Booker T. He would have been our Booker T. Because they replaced Swerve with Trick Williams. If you like my guy Trills, then you already know what time it is with Swerve because that's what NXT did.
Yep, that's exactly what's going on. So it gets like that. That's just how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, just how, I mean, it's true though. Roman got sympathy. Triple H got sympathy.
Yep.
He got sympathy. That's why you like him. You like him because he almost he said he was a nose away from the 1 yard line. He thought that was it for him, and he made it. And we glad he made it. But I like how Shawn Michaels booked the NXT. I like how he does over there. But I don't see him coming to the main roster. That'd be Triple H's job. So
yeah, and I'm just looking at the chat right now, and it's a crime. R-Truth, Ron Chillins is one of the dopest, and another athletic dude. Now you gonna say he trash because then we gonna fall into this we gonna fall into the way they script him. But the man been here for a while. He's experienced. If I show you his title, his title collection, you're gonna be like, oh damn, he had all of those? Yes, very decorated. But in WWE, no. Little Jimmy was over. Little Jimmy was over, boy. Little Jimmy should have had a run, bro. If we could give The Miz the world's title,
The Miz,
we could have gave Little Jimmy at the time the world's title, bro.
Yeah, he definitely should have got that. I understand that. There's so many opportunities, man. It's not enough spot. It's not enough. I said before, everyone's not gonna be able to get a piece of the spotlight. Somebody's gonna have to take a L on that. One thing I agree with you, what you said, and I'm thinking about it. We do need another a wrestling corporation.
Yes.
We do need another one.
Yes.
I don't know what the name is gonna be. I don't know. Need something.
If somebody watching right now, y'all got a little bit of bread, why not invest in a wrestling company? That is booming right now. And you got the stars. Because we definitely need some more. We need to spread this apart. It's too many stars on both shows.
Yep. It's not enough room. And the third brand's not gonna fix it either. Stop that right now too. That's not gonna fix it.
And guys, we have yet to have a African American. I know some people don't like the word black, but You know what I mean? We have yet to have an African American born WWF WWE champion.
Nope. Never. Not Bobby.
Not Bobby.
Not Kofi. Not Big E. Most certainly not The Rock. Nobody.
When are we gonna have an all-American African American World Heavyweight Champion in WWE?
That remains to be seen. Triple H don't know how to book the black wrestlers. I'm not saying he don't like black wrestlers. He don't know how to book them.
Don't know how to book them. Let's wrap this thing on up.
We watched like some PCW matches. We watched some Defy stuff and like watching. He was like, boom. He was like more like analyzing. He was like really paying attention to like my pacing and how I move and then who I was. And then he was like, I see what kind of performer you are. We're not really putting you in the position to be the true performer you are. Now I see it. And that's where he started like having creative meetings with Triple H when they were like writing TV for the next week or so. It was like, then he would be texting me on the side like, all right, Trips wants to see this out of you, this coming match with Bronson Reed. I was like, oh, that's it? I can do that. And then next thing you know, smash, boom, boom, boom. We have the match come to the back. Sean's like taking me aside, like, that's what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers. And I was like, everybody like, yeah. And I'm like,
how do you even get in a position like that? Yeah. Like, you know, he's not doing tape study with everybody.
So it was that was a process of like frustration. It came from frustration, like a lot of those like moments. Matt Bloom brought me into the office with Canyon at the time, and I was getting a promotion. I was like going up and paying stuff. But like earlier in that week, here's the frustrating parts of this. Like, so when WWE and NXT is like promoting this and doing this and this and that, and like you're tweeting, supporting everything, like, oh, this is coming to the Peacock. Yeah, we're doing this. Tweet it. Hey, this is the new show coming out. Yada yada yada, and we have this promoted. Tweet it. Yada yada yada. Mass tweets and stuff like that. But then like when you like they'll say nothing, whatever, and like, okay, you're doing your job. But when you say something like unappreciated tweet, no context, you just tweet unappreciated. Yeah. They call you and like, hey man, we see you tweet out unappreciated. What's that all about? But you miss all the other stuff that I did.
Exactly. TBK, chime in on that, man.
So he said he underappreciated. And he just signed here. So they really did not care about Swerve.
No. So whenever he do something good, it go unnoticed. They don't notice that. Oh, it's like, oh, you gotta post. You gotta post. Like, bro, I've been posting. So you ain't see that. But then when I put something like, yo, they sleeping on me. They don't appreciate me. You see that motherfucker shit, because you know Triple H is on this internet. Triple H.
He on that everywhere. All the
and
time.
that, I think that's his kryptonite too, because we think that Tony Khan is the only person that's letting these IWC marks book his show.
Paul Levesque. Levesque too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You didn't see anything about me like that 2-minute promo video I put out. Nobody's like mentioned, but you'll see that though. So that was one of the things I brought up in the meeting. I was like, well, this is exactly what I say. I feel unappreciated. I feel like I can do more, and I think y'all know that I can do more. Why not, like and Canyon was right there, the guy who can like hire me and fire me at any point. And I was like, well, yeah, I have a year left here on my contract, and like I would love to make an important impact on that time. Yeah, you know, because I have options. I can go anywhere. And that's like me like laying that out to him. I was like, oh, I want to be in Shawn Michaels' class. He's like, oh, he's not really having a class right now. He's doing this. He's kind of writing TV, so he's not really hands-on with them. I'm like, well, can I like do like watch tape with him or something? Like, his office is right over there. I'm like, okay. And then went over. I was like, hey, Shawn, can I have like time with you? He's like, Yeah, absolutely. Here's my email. Send me 3 matches. We'll watch them.
Wow.
I was like, and then that's the crazy thing about a system like that. It's like, oh, I could have just went to his office. It's like I having to do these mind games of like, let me change my, do this, let me send wild for like, let me do this. I'm gonna get their attention. Or you could just go knock on his door. Who's like right there. You see it, we walk past it every day and stuff like that. And that's like this wild, like it can all be so simple.
Yeah.
Especially if you're already performing well. Like if I understand, like you got to pick your spots too, and like you got to earn the equity in order to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
And by that time, I was already doing like the NXT, like the takeovers and like the Worlds Collides. I was already being on everything in weekly TV, but I always told Triple H at the time, I was like, my first 2 months there, I was like, hey, thank you, I appreciate everything that you're giving me, and I'm happy to be here. What can I do to be one of your guys? And 3 months later, hey, appreciate everything, thank you. Like, this has been awesome experience. Appreciate you having me here. What do I have to do to be one of those guys? 3 months after that, like a year now, I'm like, what's stopping me from you making me one of your guys?
You see it, and his story has been the same, and that's the common thread on our live stream today, guys. Everybody, and it's sad when it ain't about your talent, it ain't about your skills, it's not about what you bring to the table. I gotta be your guy. Montez said it, MVP said it, and now Swerve is saying it. I got to be your guy. I got to kiss your butt. It ain't about my skill. Part of your talent, part of the reason why people glorify Triple H and Shawn Michaels is because they supposed to have some magical ability to identify talent. They're doing a heck of a job. They're doing a heck of a job.
Now it's like I'm putting the pressure on him because like now the equity has grown. Now he knows I'm serious. I know what I have to offer and stuff like that. And that may be like, I don't know, maybe like, and it could be taken as a disrespectful, like you don't know what you're talking about. You're not seeing me here, but that's those risks I got to take. You know, like give me the chance to fail.
Absolutely, man. And it's been a dandy, guys. I dropped the link. You guys got to paste that in your Google browser, not your Safari browser. It won't work in the Safari, only the Google. We're going to be here for about 3 more minutes, just chopping it up. We want to hear you guys' thoughts. Come on, join we creating a community over here, guys. Remember, ain't no wrong or right. This is wrestling. It's pro wrestling. Ain't no wrong or right. You know what I mean? We want to create a safe community where everybody's self. You know, I can't stand one of them gatekeeping communities where the big head leader of the channel sit up, let's join the live and share your thoughts on this poor booking. TBK, anything you want to add?
Right. Yeah, it don't matter what you do. You can't, if you ain't one of his guys, just not one of his guys. No way around it. There's nothing you can do about it. We learned that nothing you can do about it. No matter you swerve, keep an eye out for Carmelo Hayes. That's all I gotta say, because he ain't looking too happy either. They don't do nothing with him. He'll be the next one to speak on this. Watch, or give us a subtle hint.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And if we lose Montez, we can count our blessings with Bianca. We can guarantee it. Bianca is not going to stay with the company if her husband leaves.
No.
All right, guys. We're going to get on up out of here. We're going to go on and get up out of here. Until next time, guys. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. We'll see you guys later. TBK, wrap it on up. Let them know where they can find you at.
All right, you guys can find me at the Red Carpet Ring, as we hear on here. Talk about weekly shows of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Also, you also can check me on the Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH, and also. So you can also catch me at the Pink Square Circle for women's wrestling content. Thank you all for coming out.
He knows his opponent is completely helpless to resist the submission hold.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.